Okay. Assuming we're live. All right, I think we're good.
On your victory there in the U.S. Drift Series. Like I said, speaking statistically, the first ever Formula Drift judge while judging podium at an event. So congratulations, dude.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
But so you, Vernon, and Brian are judges for this event. You and Brian stay on the entirety of the season. What are we looking at here as far as the conditions, and what are your expectations and what happens?
Well, now that we're having these weather conditions, we're definitely going to see, you know, the fluidity of the track. Obviously, now that we're dealing with a little bit of the rain, we understand that, you know, the speed is going to be a little bit slower. There is going to be some inconsistencies. And the real big challenge is, as these drivers, they're going to have to do their best to try to reduce those inconsistencies, try to be as consistent as possible, fill out the zones as much as they can, and try not to have any wavering, which is probably what we're going to be seeing a little bit. But you never know. We're going to see how they do. They're going to do a couple practice or a couple sight laps, I believe, to get situated, and then we're going to see them go at it.
Yeah, each driver. So that's what I was kind of getting to there is each driver will have a sight lap.
Oh, there's rain on the track.
Not judged. This is basically navigating the course, seeing where maybe there's a water accumulation, right? What else are they kind of looking for? You as a driver, you as a judge.
I think what they're doing is they're going out there to kind of see the conditions, the grip, see if there's any puddles, any slick spots or anything like that. I definitely think that they're trying to see, definitely, like as we can see over here in outside zone 4, to see what type of grip is there, since they're carrying a lot of momentum from 3 into 4. So they're trying to see how much they have, how much throttle they can give, if there's any adjustments in the throttle that they can do at all, in order to try to deal with the conditions that they're dealing with right now.
So Trenton Beecham, Ben Hobson, our first battle. Our first battle was intended to be Rudy Hansen, but he does have a bye.
Come on, Ben.
Hansen waits in the wings as his lovely.
Gotta stop pushing that Mustang. Just like how James is, even though James is a lot more, you know, seasoned. It's a seasoned veteran.
Looking at Beecham and Hobson. And again, all these drivers will advance on. We have 20 pre-seeded drivers given the results of the previous event, and we backfill what was intended to be 12. But again, with a few drivers, and as those scenarios unfold, we will elaborate on what goes down. So a few bye runs here and there, and then with drivers not being absent, we'll elaborate on what is going on. So,
and those lights are bright.
First battle, seeding brackets, pro round 5. Trenton Beecham will lead that ESR.
Let's go, Ben.
Stroll their way through the rain. No umbrellas out, sun's out, guns out, or the lane's out, and a little bit of angles out. Here we go. So Trenton Beecham in that first outside zone.
There we go, Ben.
Outside zone. You can see navigating there, just tucking in. Good angle there from Trenton Beecham. Now bringing it very fluid into that third outside zone. Beecham throwing up some steam, and Ben Hobson tucked in nicely. This is good practice, as you don't know what kind of conditions we are going to be seeing on game day on Saturday. But there goes Beecham crossing the finish line, and look at that. Ben Hobson brings it across. Good job exercising and going slow through the paces here on our first battle.
Yeah, both drivers, they've got no notes. They've got just what they have from what they saw in the site laps, but nobody else has run this yet. They're not able to go out and look at anything other than what they've experienced just now in that very, very quick site run before that. But both drivers do an amazing job of navigating this in what is incredibly patchy track layout right now.
Oh yeah, I just realized this is seating. Oh my god, this is like the same way they're gonna place in the points run. Okay. So top 32 that just started, and then top 16 for Pro Spec. Alright, okay, we're good. Shelly is good.
Some things are gripped up, and then it's going to change as we go as well. So one run might look one way, and even just swapping this around.
And neon purple looks nice.
Completely different again. So good job for both these drivers having to be the first ones out there to show everybody else what the track's really like.
Yeah, and to that point, I guess analogously, it's like driving down the freeway and all of a sudden you hit that puddle and you hydroplane and your steering wheel kind of whips out of your hand. So you'd rather have it just be consistent as opposed to, like you say, puddles or hitting something like that. So Ben Hobson will now lead. Trent Beecham will chase him down and getting back up, re-racked and ready to track. Hobson will lead, and Beecham will give chase. Now keep in mind, the driver will go against Rudy Hansen in the Great 8. Here goes Ben Hobson out of the gate. His signature pink lights running on through. Now tucking in formation, tip to tail, initiating at the same time.
Oh.
Beecham, Ben Hobson.
That was very shallow.
First outside zone. Let's see this transition here. Nice and fluid as Hobson. Looks like Beecham was already out there before Ben Hobson even got out there. Now Beecham tucking into the pocket, mimicking the angle. Now coming to that third outside zone. Here goes Hobson and Beecham crawling their way through. And again, you hit one of those puddles, could absolutely throw you for a loop. Now coming to this final outside zone. Well done. Performing slow-mo surgery here on that last outside zone goes Ben Hobson, and Beecham brings it across. So a controlled slide all the way across. Again, the miles per hour of the vehicle, the wheel speed probably doubled than actually if it was dry conditions, but they're just spinning like a slip and slide. Looks like that PVC pipe's like a RC car out back.
Now they both did a really good job of getting through this run, putting the car in the zone in the best way that they possibly could. So take a look at that initiation. Gets that initiation done really, really early on, but Ben Hobson not able to fill that zone all the way through. And then getting into our second outside zone, there's Ben just trying to get that car all the way out to the zone. The judges really, I mean, they still need the cars to fill the zones completely. That's still part of the criteria. There is some things that are, accepted by the judges. Understand they're not going to be as fast. The fluidity might be a little bit different, but at the end of the day, you still need to fill all these zones no matter what the conditions are on track. So that's going to be first and foremost what the judges are going to be looking for is that lead car filling all the zones? Is the chase car still, mirroring that?
Yeah, that one goes to the BMW.
Keeping proximity to them.
Bendy, you there?
As we await the results from this battle.
Right.
Slow-mo slides.
Yeah, I'm here.
We take a look at our BC Racing custom coilover. So,
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh my god, I
Here's
just
how a
messed up.
doctor treats toenail fungus without a prescription.
Yeah, I hear
If
you,
your
I hear you, I
toenail
hear
fungus
you.
came
I was
back
about
after using
to
tea tree.
it's happening right now.
go upstairs. Hold on. Damn it. Give me a second.
The taxi garage vehicle Kaufman.
You watch FD. You know FD.
Oh no, what did I do? Okay.
Probably
Picking up a lot of speed here.
Okay.
against Dimitri.
There now. Proximity
There we go. Alright.
pretty good.
We'll be right here.
The third outside zone.
Alright, I'm gonna go upstairs, take a shower and start getting ready.
Mimicking, not just getting the
I'm gonna leave the stream on, make this do its thing.
Zone 4, we can see Ben on the left there in the chase. Gets the line nailed down, but maybe not the same proximity. So tough call here for the judges for sure. There are those 3 criteria that we're looking for, and you got to do your best to try and nail all 3.
Line, angle, style, regardless of the speed.
Yeah, and in the chase, I mean, it is that line, that angle, and that proximity. So you don't want to just give up proximity or give up everything just to gain proximity.
There we go. We split decision, and Trent Beecham 2-2-1. So Reese Marin and Brian Egger siding with Trenton Beecham. And again, really splitting hairs here. And at this point, it's accumulation of points. Trust that all these drivers that you're going to see here tonight under the lights in the rain are going to be seeing action on Saturday, game day for round 5 of the Pro Championship. So a little bit of an exhale for a lot of the drivers of like, but if you're here, you're in the building. As far as Pro goes, you're in the show for Saturday.
Yeah, so that's it. I mean, that's a bit of a relief for them, but it also means, you know, a lot of these drivers are fighting for those extra points to kind of break it out of, get a bit higher than the 20th place area they're in right now.
Let's see what kind of sorcery we got from the Drift Wizard, Andy Haley, going against Dmitry Brutsky here in our Type S Top 16. This is our seeding bracket. Andy Haley in that great-looking Evil AutoWorks BMW. Gotta love him. Dmitry Brutsky, a very proven driver, and this should be a good, fairly equally matched drive right here. Look at this, coming in blazing. Actually, really good speed there. Good commitment from Andy Haley. He pulls away. So not as consistent as we saw from Hobson and Beecham. You could see kind of going back and forth, really kind of more of a stabbing motion with this BMW. Now finally, ooh, there goes. You can see Haley Brutsky. Where are you going, buddy? Oh boy, we got total chaos.
Yeah.
As they are just kind of every which way and sideways. Looking like Rango's eyes here, just going every which direction.
It's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah,
yeah, just a kind of a strange run from both drivers. It started off a little bit wonky right out of the gate. So Andy Haley just trying to get this sorted. Now they did have, you didn't see it on screen here, but they did get their sight laps before this. We were able to pack that in while we were checking out replays previously. But yeah, you can already tell there, beginning of outside zone 2, starting to dry up. Andy Haley catches a bit of that grip, shoots out, and then from there it's just trying to figure out what the car wants to do. But Brutsky does a great job in the chase. Kind of gets in tight where he needs to, and Andy Haley picking up a lot of speed here on that over rotation. Now the track does end where that yellow line is. That is our finish line this year. That is where we are wrapping things up in that run. Doesn't quite make it.
that's the marathon runner where like the legs give out
right at the end.
Yeah, it looks like a baby flamingo or something like crawling across, and the runner comes back. It's a philanthropic story, you know.
Yeah.
Brutsky comes back and he saves him,
pushes him across the
finish line.
I was kind of waiting for that. Yeah.
and you talk, before when we kick things off here, talking about the puddles and accumulation of water. Now, as you said, where it's drying out, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
It's the contrarian to that. It's actually gripping up. So here we go with Brutsky. He's got a lot of experience driving in the rain. Basically, his hometown track is E-Town. As again, Brutsky picking up a new sponsor, talking about boring cars, but not the boring you're thinking. A boring ride, a private car collection. So far from boring is Brutsky. Far from boring, Brutsky. Brings it into that outside zone and transitions into the last outside zone. Goes Brutsky. Well, good job for him navigating through there. It looks like both of them tighten it up on that last outside zone.
Yeah, definitely a tough set of runs here as the patchiness increases. We're seeing tire smoke now, we're seeing steam, we're still seeing puddles, so it's a real mixed bag of track conditions at this point.
We got cashews, we got almonds, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's definitely a bridge mix, if you will, of everything, but Brutsky outside zone 2 looks really good. And then Andy still just trying to figure out where that grip is going to come in. Brutsky out to outside zone 3, over-angling just a bit, gets that wall tap in, and then Andy just on a very shallow line throughout this entire run. I thought Brutsky was going to over-rotate, but able to get that car pulled off. Not making the same mistake that Andy made on his lead run. So, yeah, not incredible, but really, given the conditions and everything else going on, happy that they made it through those set of runs.
And you did such a good job. Here is your Werthers, Jacob, because you talked about bridge mix. So I just want to make sure I was on. I was making sure you're on. And here's that weird strawberry candy that has dust all over it. Here you go. Thank you, buddy. Dmitry Brutsky gets the win. He gets the sweetest treat of them all, advancing on here into our seeding brackets. Andy Haley, the Drift Wizard, the sorcery, just not strong enough. We need a stronger staff, and you too shall pass. But you do not pass today for the young Andy Haley. The Drift Wizard has come to a halt here on the road, and Brutsky has gotten his way. So Brutsky advances on. Austin Mata and Nick Novak, our next battle. Shakopee, Minnesota, Las Vegas, Nevada. Nick Novak back on, ready to attack.
Yeah, another driver really needing these points to get back into that Rookie of the Year race. It's a contentious thing, man. I mean, there's a lot of pride in becoming Rookie of the Year in pro.
Absolutely.
So, and Mata, I mean, we talked about Jack doing it, but Mata gets through this, wins this.
When your severe asthma says you can't, Tespire says you can. Tespire is an add-on treatment for people 12 and over that helps you prevent attacks and relieve asthma symptoms. Tespire is not a rescue medication. Serious allergic reactions may occur. Get help for swelling of your face, mouth, tongue, trouble breathing. Rash or eye allergy can happen. Don't stop asthma treatments without talking to your doctor. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Avoid live vaccines. Sore throat, joint, back pain may occur. Ask your asthma specialist for Tespire by name.
Listen up. In a world overwhelmed by noise, we live life on simpler terms. Our terms. No agendas, no drama. Our road, our rules. Let's ride.
When seeding, he's back in the running again. It's a really tight points race this year.
Yep. A lot of backs going on. Nick Novak, he's from Las Vegas, and Backstreet Boys are at the Sphere right now. There's a lot of backs, dude.
That's quite the connection.
You
did a great job on
Kevin
that.
Bacon was in A Few Good Men. All right, here we go. Austin Mata will lead. Nick Novak will give chase as we are ripping out of that start chicane, tip to tail. Boom, Mata throws it in. There's smoke. I'm liking this. Yes, sir. Dry that thing out like the opposite of Zamboni machine. Don't smooth this thing out. Let's get rough. Let's get weird. Mata into that second. Nick Novak does have good proximity. Mata keeping it sideways good. You can see the counter there. Minimal corrections from Mata in that third outside zone. Novak tucks in, shoots in on the inside, but Mata gets to the outside zone. So Novak anticipated maybe diving in, but has to bring it on back. So making their way up the bank, and again, they're intended, you could see that cone just for fans, like, where are they going? Well, there's a cone there. That's where basically it is understood in competition, go all the way out there so you don't come unwound. We've had contact before where you come unwound and back in, like you're talking about Drift Masters. Kind of a silly thing where champions are getting contact, but walk us through this run.
Yeah, Mata, first outside zone looks really good. Novak a bit more hesitant, kind of holding himself back through these runs. Mata almost over-rotates there. You can see just how much angle they're able to nurse out of these cars and keep it stable. And Mata comes out of this zone pretty early and almost has a drive straight moment there, and Novak just in a completely wrong place on the track at that point in time. Now, for Novak, it's a bit strange. You see where Mata comes out of that zone. It's going to throw things a bit crazy. So maybe that's what he was doing there, thinking that Novak wasn't even going to be able to complete the run. But really, when you're in the chase, you got to be on him. You got to kind of follow them around the track, even if that is not maybe the best place to be.
Baby, come back.
Baby, come back.
You could blame your angle on me. As Nick Novak is coming down the chute, Austin Mata comes in, and both of them initiating almost simultaneously. Novak lacking the angle from this angle of the camera, and now coming to that second outside zone. Mata dives in on the inside to that second outside zone. Novak very deep. Mata shallow, kind of off the wall, but Novak dials it in. So it looks like they're almost alternate positions, not just as far as lead and chase, but very similar lines with Novak out front. Mata seems to have a little bit more composure in the chase, though, coming across shaky, but had the car in the right place by comparison, even knocking out. See that back left tail light. Mata does flip it around, not having to go all the way down there, letting Novak pull down the car and rip it on back.
Yeah, so now that we've swapped things back around, so Nick Novak out front, Austin Mata in the chase. So Novak gets the initiation started early, but has to get back into throttle, kind of floats it out through that first outside zone. Looks good, good transition into two. Judges really want them to make the decel before transition, and that still does apply in the rain, although maybe not as crucial considering not a lot of speed to be decelling. So outside zone 3, Novak's got the one wheel in there, but Mata the whole time just more or less within striking range throughout the entire run. So get into outside zone 4, there you can see Novak getting both those tires in, and Mata doing a pretty good job there. So really it might come down to that mistake that we saw from Novak, which was a bit more of a straighten, but really was he straightening because of something that happened in front of him? That might be the argument that I'd be making there. So we'll see how the judges look at that, and we'll get that decision coming back just here in a moment.
And awaiting there, you can see Matt Sopa, who, that gentleman right there on the ground, the tall piece of meat right there, Mr. Matt Sopa from Wisconsin. He is the co-host of Prospect. Now going to the judges on this, Austin Mata, Nick Novak. Novak gets a 1, a 2, and a 3 votes. Nick Novak gets the victory here in the wet. Again, trust that Austin Mata will be in top 32 on Saturday, so congratulations to him. So, okay, so we have our next battle out here on the track, and some of you might be wondering, you can see Daigo Saito, that top right-hand corner. Thank you. As you may be wondering where Daigo Saito is, not here, why he's not here tonight, and just who is that driving his car during practice? Well, the answer is that Daigo, while coming through customs, he was not granted access to the U.S. and put on a plane back home to Japan. These kinds of things can happen, and it's very unclear as to why, since he did have an approved visa. But unfortunately, Daigo will not be here this weekend. However, because of this occurrence, the partners of Jerry Yang Racing, which include Juku, BC Racing, GT Radial, and 3M, got together and decided, you know what, let's give the fans something that even I could not have expected, and that is to have Shinji Manoa, who is Hiroya's dad and FD Japan champion and legend. He's going to give us a nice little one-of-a-kind demo on Saturday before the main event. So, unfortunately, again, the former champ, he's here. I love him back in FD here in the States, but these are things we love about this community, that even when horrible news strikes, everyone gets together and works to try and create something awesome out of a tough situation. So props to Jerry Yang Racing, Shinji, of course, and all the FD Pro teams allowed him to take a couple practice laps to shake down the car. So if you're wondering, that's why, Daigo, again, we hopefully see you at the next round. Very crazy little happenstance situation.
Yeah, that's, couldn't have put it better myself. So.
Right. All right, so again, we will see that car on Saturday doing a little couple burnings, little things, but Shinji Manoa will be ripping around. Right now, speaking of ripping around, we got Fiorella with, we're talking about the one and only Federico Sharifo going against Jack Shanahan. Shanahan knows these conditions. We always definitely toot that Irish horn, but Fiorella, this big old Ferrari, could definitely handle the wet as well. Jack Shanahan, he's surging forward, maybe just keep it consistent as opposed to surging that BMW tight and right. And we can see Federico Sharifo looks like he is very settled, comfortable in this Ferrari, pulling around the track. And that was probably, you know, Fetty's really good, solid run here. I think maybe he's like Ayrton Senna, praying for the rain, man.
Yeah, I mean, an immense amount of angle throughout this run, too. So Fiorella, Federico Sharifo out front in that beautiful Ferrari, and Jack Shanahan caught a little bit off guard, has to start reeling him in, but Federico does a pretty good job there through the first outside zone, gets the transition done into outside zone 2, holds it back, and that's where we start to see a lot of this angle going through, and Jack not able to get to the power to the ground, and we already see that smoke as Federico on a drier line, able to really shoot past where Jack is on a tighter line, and that part hasn't dried up yet, and that leads to that big gap. But
my work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done in a list view. Next, I set a priority and a due date to keep things on track. I create custom statuses to organize my progress exactly how I want it. I like to add the action items field so AI can show me the next steps. I add my teammates as watchers so they're in the loop. ClickUp makes work easy, from personal projects to running a multi-billion-dollar company. Click the link below to create your workspace for free.
Federico in the lead, fills the zones, gets a little bit of traction, found the dry ground, and is able to pull a bit of a gap on the Irish driver of Jack Shanahan. So.
And yeah, I think that Jack surging back and forth, that's showing that he has the horsepower on deck and kind of chomping at the bed. Let the dog eat, as the kids say. So I think that Jack might find those dry spots out here on the track and start to slingshot his way out front. And we'll see how Federico Sharifo and the vehicle Fiorella. I feel obligatory to say that, but now Jack Shanahan out front of Federico Sharifo. Let's see how he manages, see how he handles, and see if what I said comes to fruition. Transitions into and across the nose of the Ferrari, and there we go, Jack Shanahan. This is what I expected, that 59, the BMW, great looking car. Nice little pocket rocket coming into that second outside zone, and look at that Federico Sharifo. That big old Ferrari making that BMW look like just that. Goes up, hits that K-rail, and you can see that K-rail jumps the car up, but he keeps on keeping on. In that last outside zone, Shanahan, I mean, absolutely. Like I said, you know, these Irish drivers, they know how to drive in the wet. They know how to manage the car, and they know, you know, with that wheel speed, still maintain the ability to find the traction is just really impressive.
Yeah, it's an incredible ability, I mean, out of those drivers who realistically drive in the rain probably far more than they drive in the dry, but Jack gets most of that first outside zone done. Going into the second outside zone, things look pretty tidy through here. Fiorella and Federico Sharifo on a bit tighter of a line as the flames popping at the back of that Ferrari, and then we see a big surge there from Jack, who gets a little unsorted as he hits that K-rail, and then gets back into that last outside zone. So really, Jack just having that mistake there on the wall, that was about it. I think the car just really picked up speed, tries to throw that bit of angle in a little bit too late and has to use the concrete barrier there to slow things down. So we'll see. This is definitely an interesting one as see both drivers sitting there in front of Matt Sopa waiting to see what the results are going to be. We get our BC Racing custom coilover side by side. So let's take a look, see what we can pull out of this. So both drivers outside zone 1, I would say fairly even throughout, even lead and chase, second outside zone. Both drivers pretty tight through there again, and this is the part where Jack gets gapped a little bit in the chase. You can see the smoke both of them are able to kind of make there, and then really, I mean, Federico, the only part I'd pick on Federico throughout that thing is that he's kind of decelling before the transition, and really the judges want them to make the transition on throttle, then decel, and he kind of angled up a little bit too much on the outside.
In the lead.
In the lead, yes, thank you. But Jack did have that mistake on outside zone 3 as well, so how those two play against each other we'll have to see.
Yeah, and it didn't affect Federico too much.
Right.
He did fall back a little bit, so maybe, you know, as I say that, I'm kind of thinking and recounting, maybe he did have to back off a little bit, but love Jack Shanahan's attitude. It's definitely a learning year coming over here, coming to the States. You know, I mean, here we are traveling, but we're not having to jump behind the wheel of a car. We haven't, you know, so here it is, one more time, very deserved. I think that they both had mistakes on either side, and I love that the track is drying out. Like I said, they are in Saturday's main event in top 32, but I think they both have the ability with the track conditions drying out just a little bit. It's, you know, rain isn't falling right now. It's just accumulating, and it had accumulated, and you know, it could change. It could start raining, so just got to stay consistent with it. In our next battle, we've already seen them do their sight laps. The Pride of Paducah, Jonathan Hurst, and Radical Daniel from Washington, originally now residing in Florida. He is in that Mark IV Toyota Supra. Great looking car. Jonathan Hurst, you got to love the Cadillac. No drop in the top on the convertible there right now, but Mr. Cool, that's that name. That name again is Mr. Cool. Here comes that Cadillac into that first outside zone. What's blue and silver and smoky all over these two guys. And you can see going to that second outside zone. Good angle. Oh, and Jonathan Hurst backs in those 3D printed Cadillac taillights. Comes at an angle quite a bit. Goes back into it. Firing up. What is happening here? There's fire everywhere going off in this car. 4th of July was a couple weeks ago. So zero chill for the Mr. Cool Cadillac. So got a bit wonky there towards the latter portion of the run there for Jonathan Hurst out front.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that wall tap kind of messed something up in the rear. We'll have to see on the replay if it ended up catching the wheel, because the car looked really strange after it made that wall tap in outside zone 2. But outside zone 1, Hurst in it and just kind of finding the angle and the pace of the car that gets through that transition on outside zone 2. Look at the angle he adds in and taps that back in pretty hard. Now look at the angle and kind of that crab walk he's got going on. And the car is so reactive to his inputs right now. It's just very twitchy. Every time he's wanting to add a bit of angle, throws all the angle, and that's what we see is, I mean, Rat Dan in this case kind of pushes him across the finish line. So I wouldn't be shocked if Hurst ends up calling a 5, but I also know he's not the kind of guy who likes to call those and will just go out and battle. So we'll see.
Yeah, you know, at this point, it's like, okay, say he advances on 3, 6, 9, 12 points, right? So if you advance on, so yeah. 3, 6.
But I mean, for a driver that's sitting 34th overall right now, I might be wanting to get those points. Every little bit counts at this point in the season, so we'll see. They're back at the line, ready to go.
All right, so as you said, you kind of looked into your crystal ball and said, you know what? He's not going to call it. So the Pride of Paducah continues on. Jonathan Hurst, but Rat Dan out front. He's got the clean air. Outside of a little bit of sprinkles on his windscreen, now coming into the second outside zone. And there it is. Jonathan Hurst doesn't seem to be having any issues. Looks like he shook the cobwebs just out back and continues on here to this third outside zone. Ooh, and another driver gets into that third outside zone, as we saw earlier with Shanahan. Now coming to this last outside zone. There goes Rad Dan and crossing the finish line up the bank.
Yeah, both drivers just getting through that run as we see this track develop even more and more as a.
As an owner of Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I know how to make slick-looking goggle/glasses, but I have no idea how to make slick social media-styled stuff to sell it. But GoDaddy Aero uses AI not only to create social content out of thin air, it can build a whole social media calendar just for my business.
Fucking work.
So all I had to do was upload a video of me and my pretty face, and voila.
Fucking kids. I mean, you have a kid, so I know how tiring it
Try
can be.
saying that 10 times fast.
He's
Look
at
like
the
you know
pool
what you're
right now.
doing at GoDaddy.com.
He's gonna be home.
It's actually crazy because, like, yeah, it's actually crazy because, like, now that I look at it, it's like, fuck, yo, like, as a kid, you actually had so much energy. Like, when I look at all these kids, I'm in, like, a sports camp, so we play sports all day, from, like, ball, like, anything, soccer, all that shit, and they're so fucking energized at the end of the day. It's I tried out some new settings though that you told me, like start going on YouTube and stuff. Yo, it's a big ass difference. Like holy shit. I swear to God, every live you have, all that shit, it's like a fucking lesson for me. It's like a little class. I learn something new every time.
Yeah, because if you just use one setting, you don't know that there's a better setting out there. But if you try multiple, you get to go out, okay, this, and then try to use the same track, same car, so that way the track and the car don't change, but your settings change. You know what I mean? Because if you change the car and the track and the wheel settings, you know what I'm saying? As you're getting it from YouTube, it's gonna be hard to differentiate if something changed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
100%.
First run and
But
incomplete or where that ends up sitting there, but
I'm trying to like I'm on my like phase of like learning how to manji, because like when it came to like cutting up and stuff like that, like I honestly feel like I have that down. Like before I'd struggle like going high speeds white lining, that's not really a struggle for me anymore. So I'm trying to like move on to shit that's harder.
For Hurst to definitely go back, take a look. He did have a pretty big hit
Doing
in
one at a
practice before
time,
this,
that's
so
how you
it's
get
good that he
better,
was able to
because
make it back out there, but you don't know what kind of state that
like
car's in. Might have
basically
been a rush to get
just
head to the
like
line, so.
focus on one thing at a time. Like
We'll
let's
see.
say
He'll be back.
Shake it on, shake
if
it on, shake it
you
on, shake it. Here we go.
focus
So,
on just left foot braking.
I would say
just
7
for
drivers,
the
but
couple
more
hours.
I got
buys,
down,
and
You
we
know,
are
and then
seeing-
the same
you can
thing
see that bottom right-hand
with
corner, Ryan
just
Literal,
focusing on the
just saw on
manji. You
social
feel me?
media, unfortunately, just posted a broken
Yeah, now
car
left foot
from
braking.
San
I remember you were
Diego, still
talking
in
about that.
Atlanta.
I started
He's
doing
not
it,
here and not
and on
advancing
God, the
on,
difference when it
this,
makes
that,
when
and the other
you
thing. So
like when you start doing left foot braking and cutting up, and honestly in all aspects, whether you're on the track or not, makes it so much better.
Not here for this round, but Ryan Little, hopefully we'll see you at round 6 of
But
the
yeah,
Pro
no,
Championship.
fucking,
So Dan Burkett will get a bye.
you're a
run,
very
and whoever advances on
intelligent
between
guy in
Federico
a
Sharifo
subtle
and Jack
world.
Shanahan,
Hey,
they will get
appreciate
an
you,
automatic
Dan.
bye into 4 as well. So basically, slide Dan into 4 and slide whoever wins of Fetty and Jack.
You gonna be cutting up today?
Shoot some ladders
Yeah,
at
I'm gonna
this
be going
point.
on
They're
a
just
little
sliding on
in a
in.
little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of on that right side of the bracket. It's an easy points pickup if you get that first battle underway. So, for same thing for Federico and Jack, who both want to push things going. Like, yeah, you really want to win that battle.
All right, so Hansen and Beecham. You can see that top left corner. Brutsky and Novak. And again, it will be seen the one more time. There is Rudy Hansen. Here comes Fetty and Jack. I mean, do they really need to change tires?
No, not really. Don't think so.
Jack did. Oh, look at Jack. He's like, hey, you don't tell me.
I'm really thinking
I'll tell
about
you.
like upgrading my
It
whole
might be-
setup
I
though,
mean,
because
the
honestly,
thing
like
too is that
with
the tire
how
may
much I'm
heat
fucking
cycle a little bit,
working
which can
and
change
just
it,
in
you know,
general, like
make it
certain
less
things are
predictable.
going
If you know
good,
what it's like as a fresh
I can like
one,
now
then
like
stick with that.
comfortably afford all that
Because, I
shit
mean, they are putting some heat into it, they are making smoke with it.
and like
You do
sell
that,
my
and then you run it
sell
through
my
the rain, that is
G923
gonna
and all
change the
that.
tire a little bit, so-
I'd only like
Take
put in
that
like
chance.
probably
Yeah,
600
exactly.
bucks
How
on
seeding
top to
works,
be in like
break
that
it down, Jacob.
MOZA setup type of thing.
And
then I was thinking about, I have a 24-inch monitor right now, and I really fuck with that triple monitor setup. So I was thinking, if I got 24s all around, would that be like enough, or will it like not proportion right?
Off their little tablet, and not allowed to use it. It's completely locked out. They got to make a decision, so we will get a winner here on this battle.
Nah,
It's
facts,
like,
you-
imagine them engaged.
you
Like, no,
deserve
you
it.
can't do that. I want to do that. No, you can't do that. I don't know. Just
when
like,
you work
Yeah, I think it just
hard,
shocks them if they try and
definitely
hit one more
gotta
time.
Yep. I'd love to see Reese get shocked. That'd be
bless
hilarious.
yourself,
so, yeah.
because
Yeah.
I try to bless
Yeah,
myself
not Vernon,
every
not Brian, but
like
Reese, I
for
think he
my
deserves a
birthday.
shock. Wow. He's gotta-
You've been to driver's meetings then.
gotta
I was
auto-correct him.
about to ball out on a fucking whip,
Give him a little-
and I'm glad I
how's
didn't,
your father?
because
I
I'm
think you just
young,
frown,
I'm
that'd be
20.
it.
I was about to fucking, I was ready to sign papers for a
Yeah,
40K
he's ready to
loan,
take it on.
Yeah.
And then
He has no idea we're even talking
something with
about
that spec of the car. I was looking at a 2015 M4, and for what I was paying, I was like, I could probably get a better spec at like the same price. So I kind of like held off, and then that car ended up selling. So I just like stopped. And now that I look at it, bro, like the thing I do for work is I do like this summer camp shit just for experience. Because long term you're gonna be shocked, but I want to be a Fed. But yeah, no. So I just do that shit for like experience. But what I mainly do is I detail cars and like do a lot of paint corrections, PPF, shit like that. And that's like started to like actually been profitable this fucking year.
Boat drivers kind of taking notes, getting things sorted. Looks like, I mean, Federico Sharifo, there's a couple of changes.
I feel like just getting a sim setup would be nice too.
The way they got that car set up looks stable, but Jack Shanahan with that dive in the first outside zone, and look, he is not going to make that same
mistake. With my clients, like some of my clients be hella chill, so I get to fucking, I'm blessed enough to experience some of those cars.
Now we get to see it one more time.
So yeah,
definitely in tight there.
I still get my fun here and there, and I just know myself, bro. If I fucking get something like that, I'm gonna end up losing my license, bro. I lost my license for 30 days. Fucking the cop was okay, a dickhead, but I literally lost my license in a Honda, bro. So that says enough.
I mean, he's taking in the sights of this beautiful track. Like, you know, let's get a tour.
As a professional mechanic, your tools are essential for your living.
And I'm spamming you with questions, but you know how you have your triple monitor setup?
With broad selection,
I have a 24-inch right now.
You can count on
Would it make sense to go 24s all around?
Over 1,500
Because like, I know you said yours was like 27s or something like that.
Why pay tool truck prices?
Like, would it look out of proportion if I have 24s and not 27s?
Value, only at Harbor Freight.
Yeah, the 27s, you get to sit close to the monitor the way like a regular car is, and then if you go 32, you're gonna have to.
Now that I'm a mom,
put the
things are different. Verizon's different too. They let everyone in my family choose different plans. We get what we want and we save money. Love that for me.
The wheel extender from the wheelbase to the wheel. Because I mean, you can't sit close to your monitors. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know that it's not good for your eyes.
Contrary to Bob Relief, Mr. Worldwide, you know,
but not at the so like 24s, like would that be too small to go with?
I was misinformed.
Yeah. So, but
they say 27-inch is the.
I know. Well, we were excited.
The standard.
Oh, okay.
So anything below it, it's gonna look.
Jacob under the beanie, he is bald. Everybody.
Like the GoPro's gonna pick up beyond the monitors instead of just the monitors. Left and right type shit.
In that first outside zone, as you said, that's the Shanahan we know and love. And now Fetty, he gives it back. He twists the screws. They might be Italian, but yeah, they're screws nonetheless. It's a spicy meatball coming in sideways. Now Jack Shanahan in that third outside zone, navigating to the fourth. No one more times. They're going to force an opinion upon the judges and upon you. Here we go, Shanahan, Fetty, man, dang. Like I said, these guys are not playing around here in the rain. Fetty, that big old Ferrari, that can handle it, man.
It's really cool to see both of them kind of on form right now, where, you know, this is a Jack that we more or less expect, and Fetty, whatever's different, whatever's changed, mindset, car, team, I don't know, maybe different cappuccino this morning, he's on it, man. This is really, really great to see. Second outside zone looks solid. Look at Fetty just mirroring him. Jack gets that dry line, shoots the car out, does a great job through outside zone 3, gets that transition done, shoots in towards the wall, and then outside zone 4 looks solid from both drivers. Fetty just fading that car back into the spot and back into tandem, and I mean, it kind of sucks that they don't get another one more time on this, because I mean, I'm cool seeing them run again. I know they're not allowed to. We don't want them to be shocked, but. It's yeah.
I want to see drier conditions. I want to see drier.
It's getting there.
It is getting there. You know, I think the 4 outside zones, it creates some dynamicism, but let's take a look at it again.
Yeah. So BC Racing custom coilover side by side, and yeah, I mean, really, both these drivers getting things locked in throughout, and it's going to be tough for these judges to really decide how this plays out, because both the lead runs. Very solid, and the chases are very similar. I mean, really, outside zone 4, how does this play out? I'd say Jack maybe got in there a touch sooner. And taking a look at what the judges are looking at here, you know, really coming up with a conclusion at the end of that run. So that side-by-side for them, very definitive, gave them that call. And we'll see how this comes together for these two drivers.
Slide him left for Fetty, right for Jack Shanahan, and Shanahan wins again. As Jack Shanahan in that BMW gets the victory, repping Ireland. What do you got?
Fetty's got to be stoked, though. I mean, I'm sure he's not happy he didn't win that, but looks really on form. Yeah.
Track time. And, you know, the forecast when I was like, you know, I was in England, I was looking at the weather, I was like, oh man. I was like, son of a gun. You know, like we just can't. I mean, we've had some great weather, even Jersey, after that crazy #1 worst weather we've ever had. You know, tree falls on Jeff. He's not homies with Groot anymore. Groot decided to just rain on his parade or rain on his Z. After that, we had an amazing event.
Yeah.
This just is pretty consistent of just, we're going to see rain at some point every day.
Okay.
Tomorrow, Saturday. Just, I mean, right? You're saying we're good tomorrow, Cam?
Oh.
Oh, you called somebody. My director saying he called somebody and said there's no rain.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. I mean, I had no idea that Kemp had that kind of power. I look at him, I'm like, that guy's got power, but I know he had that kind of power.
He knows people.
Yeah. Again, you worry about the guy in the T-shirt at the meeting, not the guy in the, you know, three-piece suit.
Kemp is all T-shirt.
And that's dude.
All
the power of the T-shirt, the power of the babe, the power of the hoodoo, the voodoo, the power of the babe. All right, which way did he go? Oh, he went to that way. Do you know what movie I'm quoting? Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. Got it.
All right, is this the battle or are these side laps? This is a battle. Here we go. All right, so let's take a look at Mr. Hansen, Rudy Hansen. We're seeing him go against Trent Beecham. Hansen, the Team Hansen S chassis. We have not seen him run in the rain, but it has dried considerably. Now to that second outside zone, you see a quick little wall tap here, but Beecham looking comfortable. More on the Ocean than the Beecham, so Oceanham right now into this last outside zone. Here goes Rudy Hansen, good angle from him. Beecham lets him, gives him a little bit of room, a little bit of line to run it out. But let's get that truth serum. I want to get that overhead camera. Just that angle did not suffice. But look at the dry spots up there on the bank. Obviously, that's the top of the bank, so water rolls downhill, as do many things.
It is, I mean, it's drying up quite quickly, and the more laps we put in, the more that the actual drifting line is drying up as well, and we're getting a little bit of rubber laid down now. But let's take a look at that truth serum, as Jared says. So Rudy having to make a bit of a correction to get into that first outside zone, getting a bunch of angle there. Little bit kind of on-off throttle to really get the car settled. Beecham playing back just a little bit, but he does a good job of mirroring what Rudy's doing, although just slightly behind him throughout those motions. And Rudy really floating that car out before they get to outside zone 4. So for me, Rudy's run was pretty solid, but could have been deeper into a few spots and maybe a bit more fluid throughout it. But Beecham, maybe a touch too safe. Could have been in that pocket a little bit more, but when you've got a driver who's kind of in and out of the zone, in and on, or on and off throttle, it becomes difficult to chase that. So both drivers, a few things to clean up, we'll swap them around, see what Beecham's got out in the lead.
And also, at what point do you risk it, and what point do you just kick back, you know, and save the car? But every time I say that, everybody's like, no, dude, they're going.
Wow. Every time.
Yeah. Every time.
I know that all.
At Sprouts, our wide-open layout invites you in, with healthy around every corner and tasty on every shelf. This is that Sprouts feeling.
Okay, if there's one AI site builder you need to meet, it's this dope tech from Wix. Now, this whole flow is a conversation, so your words actually build your website. I'm going for a store, and after a free-flowing conversation, I get this detailed site brief. And just like that, my first draft is ready. Now, that's dope. Next, you can really get in there and style it your way. Here's the fun part. You can regenerate this whole thing over and over. Or you can tweak something specific, like your layout. Let me describe what I had in mind. Yeah, that's fire. If there was ever a time to speak life into your dreams, it's right now using the Wix AI website builder.
97%. That's what Sopa said. But here we go, Trent Beecham, that ESR BMW. He's on Kumo tires. Now coming in, and look at Rudy Hansen. He's not backing down right now in that second outside zone. You can see the attitude of the vehicle kind of jumping back and forth, bucking like a Bronco in that third outside zone. Beecham throws that back end, that duckbill wing, quack, quack. It looks comfortable in the rain into this last outside zone, brings it into the final outside zone, and Beecham and Hansen looking like duck-billed platypuses here, just an anomaly, and bringing it across. Well done by Beecham and Hansen.
Yeah, Beecham, he's getting this sorted. He's really getting it figured out. Gets into the first outside zone nice and early. Could have been a little bit deeper. We're seeing the smoke in the front tire, showing that they've got to use that left foot braking now. Gets into the zone, outside zone 2, a little bit early, and then pushes out a bit wide. Then you can see the grip come back into the car as he shoots out, gets that wall tap in on outside zone 3. Well, Rudy playing back again. And then outside zone 4, one wheel in through most of those zones for Beecham. Yeah. So getting those zones just not as deep as we would like them to. So I think both drivers kind of have a similar scenario there on their lead run. So kind of one tire in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Like to see him dive right in.
All right, let's see how they navigate this and who will be moving on to the final 4. Because next up, what do we got next? Would that be Dmitry Brutsky and Nick Novak?
Yeah, so as we said before, all these drivers really fighting for these points as we get into our side-by-side here. So kind of know what we're looking for, what we had in the lead, which both drivers getting the one wheel in. In the chase here, to me, Rudy's got that first zone kind of on lock, second outside zone. They're both on a pretty tight line. And then as we start to push out towards the third, I mean, very similar there as well. Both drivers transitioning, I mean, almost mirror just between the two runs, and Rudy a bit more proximity through that, whereas, yeah, I mean, that's tough. That's tough. Both drivers just need to get a little bit deeper in their runs and be a bit more aggressive in the chase. So we shall see what the judges think. They've already got their scores in, though.
Shall continue to rock the mic.
Yeah.
Hansen and Beecham wait. The sight laps are completed from Brutsky and Novak. They're already on the start line, waiting for the verdict. And looking over the judges' shoulders, they have inputted them. So graphics coming up to see who moves on to the final 4. Already on the other side, we do see Jack Shanahan and Dan Burkett. On the other side, the winner of this joining those 2 drivers in the final 4. So we'll quickly get through this. Hit the hay and back at it like a track addict tomorrow. So tomorrow's action is all pro spec. So taking a look at the schedule, live stream is local time 3 o'clock. So we'll see some sunny schedule, and then top 16s at 8 o'clock. Slide him left for Hansen, right for Beecham, and it looks like Rudy Hansen. I always say it looks like he's just got off his jet ski, and pretty much that's what he just did.
It's a good place to have a jet ski.
Didn't know there was a Rotax under that hood. That's sweet. Little skidoo, little sea-doo, ski-doo, and he do win. Rudy Hansen gets the victory into the final 4, 3 points richer for the Hansen camp. So one more driver to join them, and it's one of these gentlemen, Dmitry Brutsky or Nick Novak.
Yeah, I can see this being a really solid battle between the two. I mean, their battles previous were quite good, so we'll see how this ends up stacking up. Both drivers, I would say, very similar driving style in the rain, very similar driving style altogether. So it's a good pairing, and it's going to kind of come down to who can really manage the few slick spots that we still have on track, which, yeah, a little bit in outside zone 2, outside zone 4, still pretty wet.
Yeah, 4 you could see that really becomes, and it's very sketchy going in from 3 to 4.
Yeah.
Because water accumulates right as they, like a quarter of the way into that outside zone, there is a big puddle there. So if you get involved in that, that could throw you into the mud. So right now we're seeing Nick Novak out front, put it into that first outside zone properly. Dmitry Brutsky comes up a bit short. Now into that second outside zone. Good proximity from Brutsky in the chase position. Into that third outside zone. There goes Novak. You see some corrections from Brutsky. Novak slides that back bumper, shredding a little layer there like an onion, but nobody's crying. Coming that last outside zone. There goes Brutsky and Novak, bringing it on home up the bank, but not cashing any checks yet. It might be a bank of a different sort. Now they're going to come back, and now we'll see Brutsky out front and Novak in the chase. Good.
Yeah, Nick, I mean, right out of the gate, solid, gets that grip, gets that car really lit up. pretty early into that first outside zone, not filling the entire thing. Britsky on a tighter line, tries to anticipate when that transition is going to happen. Nick comes out of the second outside zone just a touch early, and as he starts to push out through the third, maybe not as smoke as we've seen, but has to angle up the car a little bit before getting into the wall, something we're seeing over and over again. And then as we get into outside zone 4, Nick having to hold that car back. Well, Brudski in the chase on that one does a really good job. Doesn't get over aggressive, doesn't bite, doesn't kind of make an attack on Nick at any point in time, but stays in the conversation all the way through and just tries to make sure he's part of this battle without doing anything silly that might cause him to get knocked out early. So playing a bit safe, but we'll see how that plays out. Nick, I don't think Nick's going to play it safe. I think Nick will go right at him.
Yeah?
Yeah. All right. That's my guess. We'll see.
All right. Nick is just such a mellow dude.
Yeah, except for when he's driving. Like outside of the car, very quiet, you know, kind of just hangs. He's always around.
Blew his roof off. Urbandale. That was legend. That was legendary.
That's what I'm saying. Once he's driving, though, completely different animal.
Nick no back, Nick no roof.
Yep.
Roll the tape. All right, let's take a look. Dmitry Brudski will lead. Novak giving him chase. He said he's not backing down. Let's see what kind of pressure the Novak.
Actors, we can make you believe we know what we're doing, when in fact, we do not. Whoops. I have no idea what these buttons do.
I've never driven a stick in my life. Let my hardest roll yet.
Small business owner, because I have no idea what I'm doing. But GoDaddy Aero does, using AI to build a logo, website, and social content.
For Walton Goggins goggle glasses.
Because if your goggles ain't Goggins, they don't belong on your noggins. With GoDaddy Aero, it's like you know what you're doing.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Can't push back in the second run of this battle. Who's going against? We're talking about Rudy Hansen in the Final Four. On the other side, we will first see Jack Shanahan and the Danimal that is Dan Burkett. Again, very subdued guys. This is like, I mean, Jack's not mellow.
No,
not mellow.
Not even a little.
But he actually is mellow.
He's pretty chill to hang out with, and then you get him rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't piss him off.
No.
Yeah. He's like a rhino.
Yeah.
Looks mellow, looks cool, but you know that accumulation of fingernails, aka the horn, is going to just come at you. Here we go. Dmitry Brudski out front, and looking at Nick Novak in the chase position. You talked about him being aggressive, but he's very shallow. He's kind of adopting that line that Brudski had, taking that shallower line, and he's back there quite a bit. Brudski finding the grip in all of this rain and placing the car properly. That boring cars, again, boring the car collection. Take a look at it. I know he's promoting it and sponsored by the Boring Car Collection. And there it is, crossing that finish line. So, like I said, Dmitry Brudski gaining that new sponsor. Wanted to make sure that give it the love it deserves. Boring ride, boring dot ride.
Yeah, so right out of the gate, Brudski definitely finding some grip, but as he gets into this first outside zone, you can see shoots out of it right there a little bit earlier on. Nick really shallow, and then like a snappy transition for Nick in the chase, and then Brudski one wheel in, pulling a bit of angle out, and then he does a great job of finding the grip throughout this entire run. Nick having to miss those zones in the chase just to keep up, and a good transition there from Nick. Well timed, but Brudski kind of coming in and out of that zone. So really, it was kind of the story of Brudski finding the grip on track, Novak having to find a way to battle back into it by looking for any traction that he could. But the inside line's never going to have, in these conditions, it's really not going to have the speed that the drift line, the main line is going to have, because it's just not wet, or it's not dry. It's wet. It's just not going to have the rubber laid down. So tough. You really got to stay on that same line that the lead car is to be able to keep the same speed.
You're from Windsor, you know about snow, right?
I
so
do, yeah.
Are you going to go on the powder to be the fastest, or are you going to go on the pack stuff?
You're going to go on the pack stuff.
There you go on the pack stuff.
There you go.
You know, all these, St. Louis knows about that.
Yeah.
Canadians know about it. Californians, not so much.
No.
But, you drive through LA, you want to go where it's dry.
Yeah.
Because LA drivers are going to cause a lot of traffic. All right, stupid analogies. Go.
It's all good. Take a look at the side-by-side. So really, on the lead runs, which driver is filling the zones most completely? There, Brudski was a bit shallower. I would kind of tip my hat towards Nick to the second outside zone, third outside zone. Both pretty similar. Nick might have come out a touch earlier. And then as we get into our fourth outside zone, I mean, the leads are pretty similar through a lot of this. And the chases aren't that far off either. Honestly, it took that replay for me to really kind of notice that, just how similar both runs were. You know, once you see one, you might start going one direction. But yeah, this is a lot tighter than I originally thought it was going to be.
One Direction. I didn't know you're a One Direction fan.
I'm not, but
okay. I mean, you said it.
Casual.
I don't know why you brought.
They barely make the top 10 at the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's fine.
Is that a fan then?
No. It's okay. Yeah, I think so. I mean, whatever. You know, it's your Spotify playlist. You have to justify however you want. Rudy Hansen gets 1 vote, gets 2 votes. And the St. Louis Arch wins. And the Arch wins. You know, as my boy Joe Keith says, you know, hitting greens, he says, you know, you got to golf with more soul than a sock in your hole.
Okay.
Catch that one.
I got that. No, good. That's deep. That's a deep one.
You got to drift with more soul than a sock in a hole. Meaning you're grounded.
Or a hole in your sock. What? Anyways.
Yeah, there we go. So what is happening right now?
Actual split.
Okay, which one is this correct?
Okay.
Correct. Split decision across Nick Novak, Dmitry Brutsky. There you have it. So
it's a true split too.
Yeah, that is absolutely across the board. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. But we are seeing it collectively one more time. Reese Marin frantically throws on the headset, but he's talking to Brian, he's talking to Vernon, and this is a bye run for Jack Shanahan. But while he's running, we'll get some words with Mr. Marin. Mr. Marin, speaking on behalf of the judges, you got to not turn on the red light like Roxanne, but turn on the blue light for Reese Marin. Reese?
Yeah, so when we were watching the battle here, for me, I kind of saw even errors on both sides in the lead and in the chase. I talked to Brian, he was saying that, you know, when we were looking at Brewski, we were seeing some errors when it was going into the chase. I mean, excuse me, that's what Bernie was saying, that he was pulling the handbrake a little bit. Novak was kind of messing up Brewski a little bit. Brewski was doing good on Novak was doing good on Brian's behalf. Going through everything. As I was seeing it, there was enough errors in the lead, there was enough errors in this chase in order for me to justify. I kind of saw shallow from both guys in outside zone 1, shallow in outside zone 2.
Airheads.
Want to take the next step with Entivio? Then it's time to talk to your healthcare provider. With Entivio, you may be able to pay as little as $5 per dose. Plus, our team can help connect you with additional support programs.
Entivio. They were doing good in outside zone 3. They were a little shallow in outside zone 4. In the chase, they were equally kind of going through, and that's why I ended up going one more time.
And what about your peers over there? You guys were all over the board.
Yeah, well, hold on.
I guess playing darts. Are you playing darts down there? Got it. Yeah. No, you're fine. I got confused too.
Yeah.
I was buffering. I was downloading a file real quick.
A lot going on. I get it.
There is. I got a little rain on my system and it just fried the motherboard. So we got the one more time. There's another bye run from Rad Dan, and this is what happens. You know, when it rains, slows things down a little bit. The pace slows down. We had dry conditions, and as we said, ideally we're going to get dry through the entirety of the day. Seeing like a 20% chance of rain in the back. You know, but Rad Dan. Speaking of out back, talking about the molded one, Rad Dan into that first outside zone. There's a bye run, good opportunity, and then seeing quite a bit more smoke than we saw as we started things here in our seeding brackets.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit more of a sight lap, really. He's getting with this, kind of figure out what the track's going to be like. So hopefully that means we just get an even better battle when Jack and Dan go head-to-head. That's going to be a fun set of battles. Really, Jack's on it. Dan's getting that the run through. I mean, a strange scenario there with Jonathan Hurst, but you know, Dan's just been improving. His practice runs earlier on were solid, making improvements, just driving better every single lap, and having fun.
Mathematically, 11 drivers backfilling the preceded 21. That'll be, or excuse me, 20 drivers making 31. The #1 qualifier or #1 seeded driver right now, Adam LZ, because of the order. Yeah. Adam LZ will get a bye run going from 32 to 16.
Interesting. That's great.
And he's currently sitting 3rd in points.
Great for his points run.
Freddie Osbo, James Dean. Crazy. So the crazy things are going and crazy things are afoot here at the crossroads. That's where we are right now because we are at the halfway point. Bone Thugs and Harmony, they're not in the building, but again, we'll see you at the crossroads. This is round 5 of the Formula 0 Pro Championship. When we come back, more action.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Get out there and have fun. Because you've got McGuire's. And we've got your back. From wash, to paint care, to maintenance and more, McGuire's has your hybrid ceramic solution for every adventure. McGuire's, reflect your passion.
This is where champions are made. Born from Formula Drift. Engineered for your daily drive. Where Kenda's Vezda UHP Max Plus proves it's not just track ready. It's street dominant. This is podium to pavement. Vezda UHP Max Plus. Only from Kenda. Find yours today at kendatire.com.
BC Forged Wheels. Custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged. Proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
Every build tells a story. My street Supra needs to be smooth, reliable, and efficient. And when I need my competition Supra to perform, I rely on the best. Whether I'm running the canyons or managing my team, performance and efficiency can't be sacrificed. 2 builds, only 1 oil I trust. Enios, the original JDM motor oil.
Gives you wings.
Travel can be a nightmare. Luckily, you rented your car on Turo. Skip the rental counter with Turo. Rent just about any car, just about anywhere.
Welcome back, as we got a full charcuterie plate here, an adult lunchable at that. A little bit of meat, a little bit of cheese, a little smoke, a little fire.
Yeah.
That's what we got. Smoked meats.
Smoked meats.
Yeah.
There's barbecue everywhere.
That's
See Stooky's Pits?
No.
He's got competition smokers.
Oh, word?
Yeah, like proper competition barrel smokers. Yeah. I was nerding out. I hit him up already. I'm like, dude, I'll be there all weekend if you need me.
Hit my boy Mixon, dude. I know the Mixon boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, father and son.
How am I just learning about this now?
Yeah, because you never asked.
Who else?
Never asked. Dude,
how long do we have?
Yeah, I'll never tell you. I'm not dropping names. Watch your toes. Yeah. All right, we are taking a look at Dmitry Brutsky, and he is, again, the boring dot ride BMW liquid moly. Is that carbon Kevlar showing? Is it like
I think so, yeah.
Two-face bumper there?
I like it. A little themed. Yeah. Maybe you ran out of vinyl partway through.
Well, again, he's not boring.
No.
Even though it's kind of like, Elon, the Boring Company.
Yeah, great branding.
By the way, watch Spaceballs the other day.
The original?
It holds up.
Yeah. The second one, I mean, I'm interested to see how that goes.
Spaceballs 2.
Yeah.
The quest for more money. They say it within.
They have to continue
that. It's amazing. The kids love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's happening right now. It's the latest technology.
What about that now?
Yeah.
Yep. Why anybody tell me it was so big. All right, so here we are. Let's see what goes down here of the one more time. Nick Novak, Brutsky in the chase position. Nick Novak in the front. He says no, Novak. Yes, front. As Nick is up front. See what we do. Cannot have them go one more time. Who is going against Rudy Hansen?
Sopa doing some cosmetic repair there?
Yeah, I think he's giving a little pep talk.
Interesting.
Just saying, you know, hey, I believe in you. You know, I believe I can fly.
Believe I can touch the sky.
Yeah.
Thinks about it every night and day.
I beg to differ. You know. And there goes Novak, ripping out of the gate. Easy. Novak. You think the course is drying up? Yes, sir. That's right. Turns on the smoke machine on that first outside zone. Now coming to the second outside zone. Brudski dives in. He finds that grip as well. Now shooting from second to the third outside zone goes Novak and Brudski. Now let's see how Novak navigates this. Puts it right on that course edge. Lights it up. Kind of beelines out of the outside zone 4 in that lead position.
Yeah, but he definitely found the dry spots on this track. I mean, the spotters must have been chatting with him, especially with the buy runs we saw earlier from Dan and Jack. So yeah, let's take a look here. Brudski, I mean, has to adapt on that run because Novak throughout this session here is doing a great job of finding the grip in the track, lighting the tires off, making as much can to smoke as he possibly can, and Brudski having to play a bit of catch up. And as I said before, running that tighter line can work in the dry, but when you start to get these patchy conditions or slightly damp track, it becomes very, very difficult because once you come offline, it is going to be nearly as grippy as what you'd be hoping for. But as they swap it around, what happens now with Brudski? Is he able to do the same thing that we saw from Novak? Can he keep that pace and really push it as both drivers pretty speedily getting into the burnout or getting into the start chicane there, get this battle underway? So they both look pretty eager to get things going as we swap them around.
We're just talking about why they can't go one more time. Because we choose to not give them the option.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for expedience of competition. Here we go. Dmitry Brudski will lead, and Novak chasing him down in the second outside zone. Brudski goes deeper. I want to see that overhead, just that angle straight on. You can't really see exact placement, but you can see Brudski drag the wall. Now, Novak just lets him go in front. It looks like he opens the door like a nice gentleman walking into Starbucks. 35 burgers, 35 fries. That's what he's ordering right there, and then he's whipping around. Have you ever bought anybody like, hey, let me pay for those people behind you? Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I do that.
How often?
When I lived in Canada, I used to do it at the Tim Hortons all the time.
How long?
How
many times?
Have I done it?
Yeah.
Probably 5-10 times, yeah. Like a good chunk.
I think I've done it like twice.
Yeah? Yeah, and then you get like one guy who's got 3 sandwiches. And
you're like,
yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it.
35 burgers, 35 fries. There we go.
Oh, man. Yeah, so, I mean, Brudski finding the same level of grip that Novak did. First outside zone looks solid. Second outside zone, you can see there, Novak finding grip in strange places, too, able to get that picked up. But really, to me, it's this transition that Novak gets coming out of 3 into 4. Tucks in. Great job there, and then gets back into the pocket, has to push the car a little bit wide. And really, with how short the 4th outside zone is, you do not have a lot of time to make a correction there before the zone is over and they cross the yellow line. So,
do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
Hey, we're How Ridiculous, 3 childhood friends and digital content creators that do epic stuff from Perth, Australia.
We've got about 50 million followers. We're in the billions of views, and we're a small team. We always felt like our content was all about entertainment and being fun, but there was also this, sort of professional business side. One of the things.
Good job there from both drivers, finding that grip, making that smoke, and putting on a great show here for everybody at home and everybody in St. Louis.
And everybody across the globe.
Yeah.
Tuning in. Thursday, casual Thursday, moving on to Furious Friday.
Ooh.
And then
rename it.
Sloppy Saturday.
Sloppy Saturday.
Just kidding. All right, here we are taking a look. So look at that gap.
Yeah, does a great job there. And really, both drivers finding that grip. Very similar in the chase again. I mean, they're stylistically, they've matched up quite well here. Brudski a little bit closer on the chase. And then through a 3rd outside zone. It is so similar but between both drivers. Great transition from both. Really, Novak might... it might come down to that 4th zone. Novak's got a little bit more, but we're splitting hairs here, and we have to split hairs because, as we said, one more time, off the table.
Just some of the sayings that we like end up saying, you know, like, oh, it's more than one way to skin a cat. Who skins cats?
I hope no one.
Yeah, let's just keep it like that.
Yeah.
All right, Nick Novak gets the victory, and it is unanimous. Novak advances on. It's Novak versus Hansen. Brudski is knocked out, but fear not. We will see Brudski on Saturday. The glorious Saturday. We'll see just the serendipitous Saturday. That's what we are seeing for round 5.
I like it. Serendipitous Saturday.
I don't know.
Hard to put on a shirt.
What do you got?
Not that.
Shirtless Saturday?
Serendipitous Saturday.
I thought you
Hard to
said
put on a
shirtless
shirt.
Saturday.
No, shirtless Saturday? I'm not doing that.
Okay, I mean, whatever. I was in the media meeting, and they said, you have to wear a vest. You have to wear a shirt under said vest.
Every rule has a story, and I was here for that story.
Was it you?
No, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
No, another
you
media
beg
guy.
to differ.
Yeah, it wasn't me. I'm not a shirtless guy.
All right. Yeah, I don't know.
Sleeveless. I'll go sleeveless. Yeah.
I mean, basically, you know, you're sleeveless with your shorts. You got jorts on.
Yeah, I like jorts.
I wear jorts too.
Yeah.
All right.
Ooh. 5 minutes from Shanahan.
Shanahan shakedown.
Interesting. Interesting.
No handbrake.
Okay.
Look, Ma, no handbrake.
Yeah, that's this is not an easy track to get around without a handbrake, that's for sure. Not at all.
That would be torture. How was Drift Masters?
It's good. It's good.
You know, speaking of Ireland, speaking of Shanahan's.
Ireland's beautiful. The competition was great. I mean, getting
It's the best trip ever in your.
It was. It really was. I mean, it's a long year this year playing double duty. I know you travel a ton too, so getting that week off to explore the country was very needed.
Yeah.
And it was one of those I didn't realize how much I needed the vacation until I was on it.
Okay.
I went, okay, this is good. But yeah, drove around Cork, got to check out James's shop. I stayed the night at the Shanahan's. That was really cool. It's a really cool family to be very much embedded with.
Yeah, dude, you were in it.
It was it's full experience.
That you can't pay for that.
No, not that.
Literally, you cannot. Like,
no, they will not let you.
We'll turn down the money. Actually, they'll take it, but just kick you out.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. I'm joking.
They'll just feed you until you can't leave. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know, right? All right, well, as we're having some fun traveling around the world, let's take a look back to Atlanta. The Mustang Unleashed, their activation. You know how capable the Ford Mustang is, and it is one heck of a machine. Let's take a look back at Send It in
It's
Atlanta.
a do-rag, not a don't-rag. You know what I'm saying? What's up, fool?
That's going to not make the edit.
That escalated really quick.
Mustang Unleashed!
Whoa, whoa.
Let's send it!
This is Mustang Unleashed. What is that? Well, you get to get a shotgun ride in one of the iconic Ford Mustangs.
Look at Vaughn twisting the screws on James Dean, the 4-time champion. They know the car setup. 4 Mustangs here at Atlanta.
What is Mustang Unleashed? Well, find out at MustangUnleashed.com where you can get a shotgun ride.
Fun thing is, I'm not driving. Still riding shotgun.
Hey, buddy! Oh, hey! Hey, hey! You ready to go for a rip or what?
I heard it's your first time driving a stick.
Yeah, never driven a manual.
Yeah. All right, send it. Yeah!
Mustang Unleashed!
Look out for falling prices.
Factory, right?
Oh, yeah, stop there.
Factory trip brake.
How's that?
Dude, how good is like FD, Grid Life? You got to rip out there.
Dude, all of it. I'm double duty, dude.
Just like that. Mustang Unleashed. Come out to FD, get a shotgun ride. Whoa, 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 whoa. There you go. See? Children of all ages, yourself included, myself included. Send it.
Looking like study time.
Yeah, except I can't find the right lecture notes.
Oh, your laptop can find it. Power of Intel inside.
Cool. I wonder if I could find my roommate.
Here. Find it faster with the new Copilot Plus PC powered by Intel at Best Buy.
1 second, you feel safe. And then,
The police are on their way.
well, you still do.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
Visit your local discount tire and service centers for all your automotive needs. We're family owned, serving as your one-stop shop to have your vehicle running smoothly. We offer 5-star services and a price match guarantee. Plus, get 2 tires free when you purchase 2 select tires. What are you waiting for? Go online and schedule your appointment today.
Are you ready to rev up your career? At the University of Northwestern Ohio, our high-performance motorsports program puts you in the fast lane with a 70% hands-on education. Learning from the best in the business, you'll master the skills needed to excel in the world of motorsports. From the pits to the paddocks, UNOH students and graduates dominate in all facets of racing. Turn your passion into a career at UNOH. Apply today at unoh.edu.
Is this it?
This is it!
You can see under the lights, or the lack thereof, look in the shadows, you merely adopted, I was born in it. How does it feel? 10,000 souls. What?
Oh, great movie.
It was great.
Yeah.
Talking about like 5 Goes West, right?
Of course.
Okay, I just want to make sure. I thought that, like, you know, America's Tale is great, but 5 Goes West,
yeah.
the you know, the second version, whew, dude, amazing, amazing. How about Fern Gully, aka Avatar?
I haven't watched Fern Gully.
They say that Fern Gully is basically Avatar,
Which is just Pocahontas.
Oof.
Right?
So we're getting so meta right now.
It is though.
All right, so we advance on with the battles, and there it is. So we are seeing Hansen and Novak, Shanahan and Burkett seeding brackets. And you could see in that burnout box, this is round 5 of 8 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Our seeding bracket looks like they are jumping out and jumping to the line.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Jack got that e-brake sorted or where they're at with it. I didn't get any confirmation as to what the plan is, if it did get fixed or if he's just going to go for it.
We will see.
I feel like Jack's the kind of guy who's like, I'll figure it out.
I think he's going to go Shanahan.
Ooh, Shanahan sandwich?
Shanahan sandwich. Let's see. So, but right now we are on the other side of the bracket. That's Rad Dan. And, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Shanahan. If the problem comes along, you must fix it. Here we go. So Shanahan out front, talking about Jack, and Burkett coming in. Look at the swing of, I feel like maybe the handbrake isn't fixed, and that's why he's throwing so much angle to slow down the car. Or, I mean, he is ripping right now. Jack Shanahan, smoke machine. Look at that wheel speed. He is jumping up there.
Now coming in.
Rad Dan Burkett. Yeah, I think he might just be clutch kicking and just throwing so much angle at it to slow it down, as opposed to pulling that handbrake and massaging it, sliding it back.
Yeah, I think
that was thick.
I think you nailed it. I did not see the rear wheels lock on that run, so Big old feint to get out there, just comes off throttle, big left foot brake to get back into the zone. Maybe Dan knows that, trying to play back a little bit, and then there's Jack just throwing caution to the wind, hucking that car around, complete old school style, just getting through the track, using the right pedal only, which is just fantastic. So Jack Shanahan finding a way to get around the track, but either way, he does show in a few spots where the handbrake might have been beneficial to him to fill out that zone a little bit more, but finding other tactics. So Rad Dan taking a slightly hesitant approach through a lot of it, but really, when you're expecting a driver to be using the handbrake in some of those transitions and things like that. So yeah, I'm getting the word here. There is no handbrake. That was a run completely without handbrakes for him. Now, this is where it becomes very difficult, is doing that in the chase.
Yeah.
Yeah,
who just told you that?
Matt's came by the window, and
he loves being tickled.
Yeah, I heard that. Big tickle fan.
He's like let's have a tickle fight.
Yeah.
It's just randomly. He just comes up, he's like, tickle fight. He does it. It's super weird.
Look, he's giving thumbs up too.
I don't know what's his thing. I had no idea that was his thing.
Everyone's got their thing.
That's his thing.
Yeah.
So if you ever see Matt's,
tickle.
Tickle. Yeah. It's just open dialogue. All right, here we go. And that is not Nick Novak nor Rudy Hansen. It is Dan Burkett and Jack Shanahan.
As an owner of Walton Goggins goggle glasses, I know how to make slick-looking goggle/glasses. But I have no idea how to make slick social media-styled stuff to sell it. But GoDaddy Aero uses AI not only to create social content out of thin air, it can build a whole social media calendar just for my business. So all I had to do was upload a video of me and my pretty face, and voila. Walton Goggins goggle glasses are great gifts for all guys and gals. Try saying that 10 times fast. Look like you know what you're doing at GoDaddy.com.
Cars lie to us. Motorcycles tell us the truth.
We are small and exposed and probably moving too fast. But that's no reason not to enjoy every minute of every ride.
Get a quote with America's #1 motorcycle insurer.
There it is, the Rat Industries Mark IV Super coming on in. Let's see how Shanahan from the rear handles it with no handbrake. Not getting very handsy, but he is getting that big angle. And Shanahan, look, we don't need no stinking handbrake. Look at this. So, but Dan Burkett, great angle from him, a good lead run. And Shanahan massages it on in. Big angle from Dan Burkett, bringing it on home. And a good effort by both drivers. Loving the flow of this track.
Yeah.
If we get dry conditions tomorrow and Saturday, this is gonna, I think this might very well be the best layout we've ever had at St. Louis. I like just the fluidity of it, the lengthening of it, as we said, just those mild little modifications really change the flow, the ebbs and the flows of the track.
Yeah, I mean, with the current layout that we've got, this is by far the best iteration of it. Pushing that first outside zone back further means that the transition into two is much snappier, and really it has flowed so much better than we've seen previously. But yeah, Rad Dan out there filling that first outside zone, really aggressive in it. We know Jack doesn't have that handbrake, but the judges, I mean, that's no matter to them. It's, you still got to do the job with the equipment that you've got. But Rad Dan, solid line through third outside zone. Transition here looks good. Getting that rotation down. Maybe comes out of the zone just a touch earlier, but really, really happy with the driving we're seeing out of Rad Dan here, who's got that car. You know, he's got it sorted. Seems to be driving with a lot more confidence, and just it's hard to say, like, it looks like he's having more fun in the car, but it's smoother. It's a lot more committed.
It's looser.
He's not fighting it.
Yeah, it's looser.
So just good. I mean, it's really it's great to see, because Dan is such an incredible driver. When you start to see them make those leaps and bounds, it makes such a massive difference. So
like his style.
Yeah. Get into this side-by-side. Let's see how things roll out. First outside zone for both drivers looks good. Big transition there from Jack. And I think both of them kind of missed the same amount of that second outside zone. Third outside zone, pretty similar again. And really, I think, to me, the fourth one is come into play through so many of these runs. And yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, kudos to Jack for getting through that run without the handbrake. But, I mean, shouts out to Rad Dan, who's just getting everything planted and putting on a great show here for our seating bracket. So see what the judges think. They got their you know, their call in pretty early on that one, and see what they end up coming up with here.
Perfect fit. One more time, and uno mas. Shanahan and Burkett.
All right, so now the question becomes, can Jack get that e-brake fixed in that amount of time when they've got the brake on the one more time? So a night that with the buys, you might have thought, hey, we're clocking out early. We're getting a full show here, that's for sure.
All right, looks like Jack Shanahan is going to the Snack Shack to get a Kit Kat because he needs give me a break.
Yeah.
And we are going back to Rudy Hansen and Nick Novak. Thanks, I got a little chuckle out of that dad joke from Reese. and a true dad is Brian Eggert. So he chuckled too, but he needs a haircut too. All right, here we go. Rudy Hansen will lead, and Nick Novak chasing him down. Boom, initiating in. Good transition and good angle from Rudy Hansen. Novak tucks in. And they are, again, we have some ideal conditions right now into that third outside zone. Hansen has ripped up, slingshots his way into that last outside zone. And, man, he holds on to that. I thought he was going to find himself in the grass and outkick his coverage, but no, he holds on by the skin of his teeth. Well done.
Yeah, Rudy able to find just the last little bit of grip on outside zone 4. As you said, I thought we were going to be pulling him out of the leads there. First outside zone, gets on throttle a little bit late, leaves that zone a touch early and transitions on that, basically on that rumble strip there, and then starts to push out. Now Nick Novak's got to pull that gap in a little bit closer, the transition into our last outside zone. That's where we thought Rudy Hansen was going to be looking for a tow truck, but able to get through the line. Doesn't really light the tires off. Now it is pretty slick through there, so it's, I don't think it's something where the judges are really going to be nitpicking in that section, but it will come into play, especially once this dries out, and hopefully, you know, for pro spec competition tomorrow, and definitely for pro competition on Saturday.
Did you say, I mean, equally, if he's Nick picking, he should be Rudy picking as well?
Yes, that would only be fair.
I mean, it works on both sides.
Yeah, you gotta.
If you're Nick picking, you're Rudy picking as well. Just clarify.
Yeah.
Okay, because Nick is now out front.
Yes.
And we'll see if he's picking.
But
the judges are picking a winner.
That's the plan.
And we will find out who it's going to be. Who's going to the finals? Is it Nick Novak or Rudy Hansen coming out? Let's see if we load that slingshot and he shoots forward in that first outside zone. Rudy Hansen does not partake. So talk about Nick picking. He is out there, but Rudy is not picking to go into that outside zone, 1 or 2, but he gets aggressive. Wow, Rudy Hansen. Oh, Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity. IHOP just called, and he looks like he comes to a halt and rips across that finish line.
Yes, this is going to be interesting because Nick did have that same mistake once again in the lead on outside zone 3, where he gets into the wall, and it causes him to leave the zone a bit early, gets a bit of a bounce off the wall, and then we see the over-rotation of Rudy in the chase for outside zone 4. But we'll get back to that in just a second. As Nick out front with that left foot brake, pushing out to keep that car nice and wide for the first outside zone. Second outside zone looking solid. Rudy now starts to try to make his approach, and then you can see that is where Nick has to make the correction. Rudy does a fairly decent job, and it puts him on a tighter line, and then Rudy just over-rotates, throws that back end in on Nick. So did Nick...
I ordered 200 hand-forged knives to my dorm room and built a Wix website to sell them.
Transition a bit late, causing that incident by Rudy. That's going to be what the judges...
Alrighty. That's the end of the stream. We're gonna watch Pro 32 for Prospect tomorrow, and then we're gonna also do top. We also wanna watch the Pro runs tomorrow as well.